Alright. We got one here from Decoy Voice. Another one. Go follow, guys. Here we go. Let's get into it.
According to this police chief, the only thing worse than a mob of violent thugs beating people in the street is you noticing things on social media. As this attack is going so viral, the mainstream media can no longer ignore it. But their police chief blames social media commentary.
Social media and journalism, and the role it plays in this incident. And yes, guys, that's you. That is you. The post that we've seen does not depict the entire incident. That is one version. Social media and mainstream media and their commentaries are a misrepresentation of the circumstances surrounding any given event. That causes us some difficulties in thoroughly investigating the activity and enforcing the law, and it makes our job more difficult.
Just when we thought the vice mayor shrugging this attack off as adults showing bad behavior, the Cincinnati police swine has to swoop in and steal her shine with the stupidest statement ever. Stop filming these street beatings, it's making the police chief seem incompetent. As I honestly don't think she's angry about how difficult a high-profile police investigation is proving. It's just that the social media virality is bringing in federal attorneys to oversee if justice will actually be served, as it really looks like it originally wasn't. And to make matters worse, look at NBC's national coverage of the 5 being charged after the video of violent altercation goes viral, as that title is so carefully tiptoeing over the elephant in the room that is racial implications, but we'll get more into that later. As they report, the chief frames it as a sudden dispute between individuals following a verbal altercation. The chief states 5 faced charges, but declined to identify who or what they're being charged with, as those records are remaining sealed. She's literally downplaying every aspect of this crime while amplifying how damaging it is that social media showed you it, as she then goes into blaming alcohol for the altercation. And then the 100 plus people there, where only one person called them, which is unacceptable. Basically blaming everyone at the scene, including telephones and beverages, except the mob of violent thugs attacking people. As one, it's kinda difficult to dial 911 while unconscious on the floor. 2, I don't think the people squealing in delight at seeing this attack could be relied upon for reporting crimes, and more importantly, by the way the chief is currently reacting, I have zero confidence that a call for police would be helping anybody, as this police chief has a history of issues with white men in Cincinnati, with her own officers suing her over allegedly preferring to give promotions to minorities or women, where in a majority male field, the simple math seems to prove their claims. But remember, in the story about Cincinnati police versus Kentucky police, their lieutenants didn't seem too competent. So maybe it was more of a skill issue than an affirmative action issue, but whenever you have top to bottom problems within a quasi-military organization, oftentimes it's the leader causing all of it. Not to say the media isn't also to blame, as NBC News goes on to state the man that got beaten threw the first punch, later writing that 2 other dudes were attacked too, with the woman defending him being knocked unconscious by someone in the crowd, but then blaming Elon Musk and high-profile right-wing accounts for framing it as an assault by a black mob on a white couple. Mere sentences after they explained exactly that. Nobody needed to frame it as anything, as your own eyes provided all the information you needed. It's just insane that the same media that's been race baiting for the last decade suddenly wants to shy away from noticing color. As in my video about it yesterday, I intentionally didn't want to mention race, just trying to make it between victims and attackers. But I still received critical comments about how the news doesn't cover random street fights. I have a trash premise. Never mind the fact that the media basically wets itself when there's a viral fight with racial implications, when one specific ethnicity outnumbers the other specific ethnicity, where in this case, the police will immediately release the names of the arrestees, with the AP connecting it to the Confederacy. So yes, the news loves covering viral street fights, as that's just one of the many examples of this, which leads their readers to leave comments like this, thinking young black men are being lynched all over the US, and it never makes the news. Yes, or the not making the news of even the hoaxes of this. It gets so ignored they even make Netflix documentaries about it 6 years later. Or the non-stop coverage of the pull tab found in a garage that even with no findings, the news still classified it as a noose. It's almost like we collectively don't want coverage of crimes that would cause racial tensions in the country. We're just curious why the corporate media suddenly doesn't want to cover a story due to those same racial dynamics they seem so obsessed with. But when your local law enforcement finds it more important to shame social media than the actual attackers, you know that the police don't care about the people. She's there to protect and serve the narrative. So if you appreciate my concise, lighthearted commentary on the tragic status that is today's reality,
Alright guys, go
subscribe to
follow.
Decoy
There's
Voice.
some good ones. Decoy Voice.